When we look at the results of different planets, we also look at the dignity, the condition of the planet, the placements of the planet. And one of the very important factors, especially in Vedic astrology, is the retrogression of planets.
Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends, from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Now I've already made a video of the different planets when they get retrograde, whether it is the Jupiter planet or Mars or Saturn or Venus or Mercury. Sun and Moon obviously don't get retrograde, and Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde. So I've made a video already on different planets when they get retrograde, what are the results that we get from them. I've also made a video of planets when they are retrograde and placed in a certain house, what results you get from them. So today the video that I'm making is about house lords when they get retrograde and what are the results that you may get from them, and then connect them to where they are placed, in which houses they are placed, how the retrogression of a certain house lord and its placement in a certain house brings about the overall meaning, the overall characteristic, the overall manifestation. So you need to see this video in line with the other videos that I've made. One is different planets getting retrograde, and also retrograde planets placed in different houses. Without looking at those two videos as well, understanding this video will be less impactful to you. So friends, one of the important things is that when you're talking about the house lord, the Trikona signs of the house lord are very, very important. Unless it is the other sign, which is the ascendant. Say for example, if Venus is retrograde, then because Venus rules both Taurus sign and the Libra sign, and if Venus is placed for example in the Aquarius sign, here the Libra sign's results manifestation will be more important when placed in Aquarius. Unless the ascendant itself is Taurus, ascendant itself is the other sign and not the Trikona sign. Keep that in mind. So let's just jump into the first house lord when it gets retrograde. What is the manifestation that we get? When the first house lord is retrograde, we know that retrogression also means that there is a certain karmic debt or karmic baggage which is incomplete, which we are carrying forward. So the first house getting retrograde means that there is a karmic baggage to how you carried yourself in your earlier innings. It means that there were certain parts of your personality, in certain parts of your character, certain parts of your stature, certain parts of your dignity in your earlier life which was found wanting by others, where people didn't see you as somebody who was true to that characteristic, true to the manifestation, true to your principles, values, true to your character. You probably were not seen as a man of character. There were certain shortfalls, big shortfalls in your life. So retrograde first lord means you need to pay off the debt, or that is something which is left incomplete, which you will have to complete in this life. And wherever it is placed, the first house lord, you will not be able to get results of that house without paying off the karmic debt of the first house. So if your first house lord, for example, is placed in the 11th house, then the wishes and desires that you have, the connection, the societal connections, profiting from your societal connections will not come to you unless you pay off the karmic debt of the first house, which means you carry yourself with dignity, you carry yourself with character, and more so connected to your social life, more so connected to your social network. Unless you do that, you will not be able to get the best results of the placement of your first house lord in the 11th house or whichever house it is. So carry yourself with dignity, carry yourself with a lot of character, come across as a person with a strong personality, and carry yourself with the moral ethics to be able to get the best results and to be able to let go of the karmic debt of the first house. When the second house lord is retrograde, it means that you were wanting in the karmic baggage that you're carrying forward of how you earned your remuneration, how you earned your livelihood, how did you hoard your savings, How did you come across to your community? How useful you were to your community? How much did you take care of your dependents? How you carried your life with a lot of principles and values and steadfastness, which the second house means. So wherever the second house lord is placed, that manifestation becomes very, very important. Now if the second house lord, for example, is placed in the ninth house, then gains from your education, gains from your higher learning, gains from high experiences will not come to you. Getting through to higher qualifications will be a problem for you unless you pay off the karmic debt of the second house, which means that in trying to get a better remuneration and utilize your educational qualifications, if you are not somebody who carries yourself with principles and values, if you try to take shortcuts in how you earn money, how you hoard money, and if you don't take care of the community, if you don't take care of the dependents, then higher value or higher success from your higher qualifications, from your experiences will not come to you. Traveling afar for educational qualifications will not be as fruitful as beneficial for you. So you carry yourself with more steadfastness, especially in your principles and values, earn your livelihood, earn your remuneration with more moral fiber, and take care of your community, take care of your dependents. Only then will you be able to get better success of the ninth house placement of the second house lord also. If when the third house lord is retrograde, here it means there is a karmic baggage of your communication skills, how you have influenced yourself, how hard you have worked, whether you have done some self-enterprise and how you were in that. So unless you pay off the karmic baggage in this life connected to the results, the manifestation of the third house, you will not get good results wherever the third house lord is placed. Now say for example, if the third house lord is placed in the seventh house, then making connections, making good relations, being good in partnerships, getting more success in your partnerships, getting more success in a committed relationship will not come to you unless you pay off the karmic debt of the third house, which means you need to be more truthful, you need to not play around with words, you need to be more frank, yet you need to be more honest, more direct without being insulting. And when you're trying to influence people, you need to be straight, direct, simple, lucid, and honest without trying to take shortcuts. And take care of the people in your neighborhood. Maybe there is a karmic debt to them. Take care of your siblings. Become a better sibling for them because there may be karmic debt there. And put in your hard work. Somewhere in your early innings, you may not have put in the hard work, because of which you may not get the results of relationships in this innings, because it is the third house lord which is getting retrograde in the seventh house. If the fourth house lord is retrograde, then there is a karmic baggage that you're carrying forward which still needs to be completed related to the areas of the fourth house. So here the fourth house is about your domestic life. Here it means keeping the harmony in the house, keeping a peaceful environment in the house, keeping a more happy environment in the house, keeping more happy smiling faces in the house, working towards it is all something which you have not done earlier. In fact, you may have disturbed the peace of the house, disturbed the happiness of the house, disturbed the tranquility of the house, and you may have misused the assets which the zodiac gave to you. You may have disrespected your mother, for example, which the fourth house represents. So now wherever the fourth house lord gets placed in, you may not get the results of that house unless you pay the karmic debt of the fourth house. So if the fourth house lord is placed, for example, in the 12th house, 9 to itself, so the high gains which you may get when you are working for a foreign company in foreign lands, or as an individual performer, or going to foreign lands, or trying to help others, being charitable to others, being philanthropic to others, or saving your expenses, getting more out of your effort, because the 12th house is also the house of wasted effort, wasted expenses. So your money may not be as useful to you, your efforts may not be as useful to you unless you pay the karmic baggage of the fourth house by creating more harmony in the house, creating more peaceful environment in the house, and treating your domestic life better, your mother better, and using a more strong moral fiber to earn assets of the fourth house. When the fifth house lord is retrograde, What is the fifth house about? The fifth house is about your romantic life, the children, tribulations, ups and downs, upheavals in your career, because the fifth house is the eighth house to the 10th house. So results, all of these results is where you're found wanting in your earlier innings. Somewhere you shortchange somebody, somewhere you may not have given the right values to your children, you didn't take care of your children, maybe you abandoned your children, or you're not truthful in your romantic liaison. Maybe you were somebody who was a heartthrob, who was a Casanova, and moved from one relation to the other without a strong commitment. So in this life, without giving up the karmic baggage, giving up the karmic debt of the fifth house, wherever your fifth house lord is placed, you will not get results of that house. Now, if the fifth house lord, for example, is placed in the sixth house of service, of serving, of overcoming competition, of being able to better your competition and being successful in competitive endeavors, being successful in litigation and court cases, being successful in your career, in a job, working under somebody, being successful in a team environment, all that will not come to you unless the fifth house's baggage, karmic baggage that you're carrying is paid off. Which means be true in your romantic liaisons, be a more romantic person than you are, and try to be more romantic and give more in your romantic liaisons. Take better care of your children, give better values to your children, and don't take shortcuts to try to make changes in your career. Because what is the fifth house? The fifth house is also the house of turbulations, ups and downs, upheavals in your career, because it is the eighth house to the 10th house. So in trying to make changes to your career, don't make any shortcuts, don't try any shortcuts. Be true, be a person of character. Only through that you will be able to get better gains from your service, from your job, and working for somebody, working under somebody. If the sixth house is retrograde, then the areas of the sixth house are where there is a karmic baggage. Whereas you are either found wanting in your service, you are found wanting when trying to compete with your team members or in a competitive environment. Maybe you cheated, you were manipulative, you were slanderous, you used unfair means, you did not put in as much hard work as is needed in a serving environment if you are serving somebody, if you are employed by somebody. So there is a karmic baggage that you are carrying which is still incomplete, which you need to let go of, you need to pay off. Now, wherever the sixth house lord is placed, you will not get the results of that house unless the karmic baggage, the debt of the sixth house is paid off. If the sixth house lord is placed in the second house, so getting higher remuneration, getting higher livelihood, getting a better livelihood, getting a livelihood with principles and values, without needing to shortchange your principles and values, with respect in your community, while taking care of your dependents. All these results will not come to you unless the karmic baggage of the sixth house is paid off. So unless you are somebody who is more true in your service, who serves more without thinking of the remuneration so much, you are true in a competitive environment without being manipulated, without being slanderous, and carrying yourself with dignity, helping your team members. If you don't do that, then the better results of the second house, better remuneration, better livelihood will not come to you. If the seventh house lord is retrograde, that means there is a karmic baggage in your connections, in your relationships, in your partnerships. How you are true to your partnerships, how committed you are, how loyal you are, how balanced you are. So, without paying the karmic baggage of the seventh house, wherever the seventh house lord is placed, you will not get the results of that house. For example, if the seventh house lord is placed in the fourth house, that means without being true in your relationship, in your partnerships, you will not be able to create a harmonious environment at home. You will not be able to create a loving, happy, calm, peaceful environment at home. You will not be able to have a peaceful domestic life. Your relationship with your family may go through ups and downs. So, if you are not true to your partnerships, that doesn't mean only a spouse. Any partnership that you have, if you're working in a team environment at work, in your career, then being loyal there, being balanced there, looking after their needs also while taking care of your needs also, and being a true partner, standing by your team, standing by your better half. Only through that you will be able to get better gains out of the fourth house, because the seventh lord is retrograde in the fourth house. If the eighth house lord is retrograde, that means there is a karmic debt. How you behave in times of challenges, in terms of obstacles, in terms of emergencies, in terms of sudden obstacles that came to you? Were you somebody who carried yourself with a lot of conscience, with dignity, with strong moral fiber, or you use shortcuts, you use manipulations, you cheated without people knowing that you have robbed people off because of the 8th house effects? You have given off people's secrets because of which you have created harm to people. So all of these results, the karmic baggage of this is what you're still carrying, which is still pending to you. That's why the 8th house lord is retrograde. Now wherever the 8th house lord is placed, you will not get results of that house unless you pay off the karmic debt of the 8th house. So if the 8th house lord is placed in the lagna, for example, so without carrying yourself with moral fiber, being righteous, being honest, being principled, even in the most trying of circumstances, even with the most strongest of obstacles, even with suddenness, with forceful suddenness which life is throwing at you, even in life and death situations, and when carrying somebody's secrets where you may harm people because of that, unless you are able to carry yourself with dignity, keeps people's secrets, don't be manipulative, and face the biggest of challenges with a strong moral fiber, the results of the first house will not come to you, which is you may not be able to be a person seen as a person of character, seen as a person of dignity, seen as a person of stature in society. Society will not treat you with respect. You will not be somebody who is respected. You may not reach the heights which the zodiac can give you if you are able to take care of the first house examination by paying off the karmic debt of the 8th house. If the 9th house lord is retrograde, that means there is a strong karmic debt, strong karmic baggage which is yet to be completed, still to be completed, which means that probably in your earlier innings you did not put in as much hard work in your education. You did not learn from life's experiences, life situations that life threw at you. You did not learn from them. You were disrespectful maybe to your gurus, you are disrespectful to your education. In going to far off places, which the 9th house also represents, you may have used unfair means, you may have cheated people, you may have lied to people. You are not righteous, which the 9th house represents. You did not adhere to your dharma, either your religious duty or as a duty as a human being. And so without paying of the karmic debt or the baggage of the 9th house, you will not get good results wherever the 9th house lord is placed. If the 9th house lord is placed in the 3rd house, for example, then you may not be able to get good gains out of your efforts. You may not get good gains out of your communication. When you're using social media or when you're trying to influence people, you're trying to send us across a message, you may be misunderstood more often. You may not be taken seriously more often. People may not understand the true essence of what you're saying. So you will get the least results of your efforts. You will not be able to become an effective communicator. You will not be able to get most out of your self-enterprise without paying off the karmic debt of the 9th house. So this means that don't shun education, don't shun learning. It is not only about higher education qualifications. Get higher educational qualifications even if there are obstacles, but learn from life's situations, learn from life's experiences. Pay attention to your seniors, pay attention to your gurus, whoever is more learned than you, wiser than you. Reach out to them, seek their advice, and only then, when you do your duty with moral fiber, when you are not shunning your responsibility and your accountability, will you be able to get better results of the 3rd house when you pay off the karmic debt of the 9th house. If the 10th house lord is retrograde, this means that there is something incomplete about your karma itself, about your work life, wherever you are employed, with your relationship with your superiors, with the bosses, with authority figures, maybe even the government figures. So somewhere you are wanting there, somewhere you shun your duties, you shun your work, maybe you took shortcuts in your work, maybe you were disrespectful to senior authorities, maybe you did not follow the rules, you flouted rules. So in this life, wherever the 10th lord is placed, you will not get better results out of that. If the 10th house lord, for example, is placed in the 5th house, the 5th house is also the house which is 8th house to the 10th house. This also shows turbulation, changes, ups and downs, and choices given to you in your career, which means when you make those choices to make change, to move into a different role, into a different company, then the best results of your career may not come to you unless you pay the debt of the 10th house, which is being righteous in your work, being more hardworking, being more committed, being more loyal, being more disciplined in your work, and working on your relationship with your superiors, with your authority figures. You will not be able to get better results of the 5th house, the gains of the 5th house, the growth of the 5th house, the power and the influence of the 5th house. So you better pay off the gains of the 10th house so you're able to get better gains of the 5th house results. If the 11th house lord is retrograde, that means there is something yet incomplete about your connection with society, about how you carried yourself in society, how you took care of societal responses, how you took care of societal responsibilities, how you were a better citizen, how you're probably a better contributor to societal causes. Maybe you shunned societal causes. Maybe you cheated in societal causes. Maybe there was money of the society or for a societal cause which was kept to you where you made some shortcuts. You misuse societal funds. So somewhere there is a karmic debt which you are carrying. Now wherever the 11th house lord is placed, you will not get results of that house unless the 11th house's karmic debt, incomplete work, is paid off. If the 11th house lord is placed in the 7th house, then without being able to pay off the karmic debt in the 11th house, you will not be able to do well in your partnerships. You may not be able to do well in your connections. You may not be able to do well in your relationships. Relationships may go through ups and downs. Relationships may go through breaks. Relationships may go through instability, and there may be a lot of frustrations and anxiety. So pay off the karmic debt, take up a societal cause, carry yourself with dignity outside in society, try to be a better citizen, be more accountable for your actions as a citizen in your society, in your neighborhood, in your city, and take up a cause with full fervor and be a complete justice to the cause. Live for a cause, dedicate yourself to a cause, and make maximum contribution to your cause. Only then will you be able to let go of the karmic debt, the incomplete work of the 11th house, and gain more out of the 7th house where your 11th house lord is placed. If your 12th house lord is retrograde, this means there is a very strong karmic debt of how you carried yourself as a person of dignity, as a person who splurged money on yourself, of the person who fled from your country of birth and went to a foreign land, maybe to escape responsibilities, maybe to escape accountabilities, maybe to splurge money and have a better life. Maybe there are certain taboo things which were not allowed in your place and you went to have a better time in some other place. Maybe you went away from your land because you were not ready to take responsibilities at home. And you're not charitable. You maybe splurge money, charity money, on something else, on yourself, on your own expenses, and you shun the spiritual path. You took a more materialistic path, because of which there is a karmic debt. There is a incomplete work of the 12th house which is still pending. So wherever the 12th house lord is placed, you will not get the results out of that house unless the 12th house's karmic debt is paid off. If the 12th house lord is retrograde and placed in the 9th house, then you may not be able to get higher gains which the 9th house represents, especially from your education, especially from your higher qualification. You will not learn from your experiences, situations in life that are thrown at you. You will make the same mistakes again and again. You will not be able to use your higher qualifications for best advantage. You may have to let go of the education that you are doing, or struggle to get admission in higher universities, or make use of your higher qualifications for better material gains. You may in fact change your line from where you have done your educational qualification and go into something completely different, because the 9th house gains have been restricted to you. You may not be able to gain in your connections with people across boundaries. You may not be able to gain in long distance travel. All of this is because you are not ready to pay off the karmic debt of the 12th house. So if you are somebody who becomes more spiritual, shuns spending money on yourself, splurging money on yourself, gives more to charity, is more charitable in your efforts, not just through money. You're more charitable in your character, you're more charitable in your communication, you're more charitable in your actions. Then you will be able to let go and reduce the karmic baggage that you're carrying of the 12th house and get more gains out of the 9th house. So friend, now that we have gone through that, if you have a retrograde planet which is placed in any of the other houses, what is the karmic baggage you are carrying? What is the responsibility that you have to be able to let go of that incomplete work that you have done, let go of the karmic baggage and get better gains whichever house the retrograde planets place. So pay more attention to the placement, understand the placement better, watch my other two videos of which planet is retrograde and which house it is getting retrograde in, that manifestation, to be able to utilize the meaning of retrograde planets placed in other houses better. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link here below. Till some other time, some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.